Hello, my name is Gypsy Mideiros, and I'm doing my cultural artifact speech for Communications 2 with Professor Roberts. I'm going to start around 15 seconds so you can gauge where I started to where I finished. I love the smell of shoes. I love the smell of new sneakers. Not your old worn-out Vans you had in the closet for the last 3 years, but nice shoes. Specifically, I love basketball shoes. I love lacing up my shoes and getting on the court. But more than that, I love just wearing my shoes out to nice restaurants, special events, or my personal favorite, basketball games. The shoe community is closely tied with all sports, but right now, I'm going to put my focus on the court and talk basketball. Shoe culture in basketball is part of the game itself. Players wear the shoes to improve their game, but not only do players wear the shoes for performance, they wear them to represent a style of play. The more famous a player is, the more their shoes are usually worth. During my speech, I'll explain to you the importance of the sneakers in the basketball community and why it has impacted my life. But first, I'll show you the artifacts that I have with me. These are some New Balance Kawhi Leonards. These are from Black History Month. They say inspire and dream right there. Here's another version of this exact same shoe. It's a different colorway. It's just a different color. That's what colorway stands for. It's just a different style. This shoe right here comes in so many different colorways. It's not even funny. This is a Nike shoe for Kyrie. This is Kyrie's symbol. Anytime you see that symbol, it just means it's Kyrie's brand. And all the best players in the game have their own shoe. And one of the best players in this game is Michael Jordan. And he's got 34 shoes to his name. And anytime you hear someone say, "Oh, I just got new Jordans," or "I just got new J's," they just got some new shoes that Jordan used to wear. So the sneakers represent the basketball community because whether or not you play indoors, you play outdoors, you got to lace up into something. And so why not have the coolest shoes on the court, you know? At a certain point in time, Chuck Taylors or All-Stars were the go-to shoe for everyone on the court. Now there's such a wide variety of shoes on the court that you can probably tell a person's favorite team or even the favorite player just by looking at the shoes that they're wearing. And brands like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, New Balance, and Converse sign star athletes to million-dollar contracts to use their names and likeness to sell millions of shoes to fans worldwide. Every year, these brands come up with new shoe technology to help players' performance on the court. And some of this tech is in the comfort of the shoe, such as the cushion from each jump, because they're playing basketball, they're jumping all the time, and the breathability of the foot, the mesh, so that your foot doesn't sweat so much and that your feet don't overheat. And this is basically a basketball player's weapon of choice. And if your favorite player is wearing a certain shoe, there's a pretty high chance that you'll probably buy the same shoe. And the performance of the player contributes to the performance of the shoe sale as well. And the price range for basketball shoes ranges widely from about $100 to tens of thousands or more. If the shoe is signed, it can be worth double its original value. And the price can be calculated by numbers made to numbers sold. If Nike only made 10 pairs of Air Jordan shoes, then it could easily be worth $5,000. If Adidas produced thousands of James Harden signature shoe, it would probably be worth $200. But if they all sold out on the first day, they could be easily worth $500 new. The community values shoes based on colorways, like I explained before. Colorways are the different color patterns the shoe might come in, and the style. The styles are the low, the mid, and the high top, which is basically where the top of the shoe rests on your ankle. All this matters when it comes to playing ball in your sneakers, or even just when walking down the street. Walking through downtown, people look at your shoes. They might be expensive, they might be flashy, and people like it. I'm personally not into any of that, the expense or even the fact that people are looking at my shoes, but I do like wearing my basketball shoes to Clippers games. I was born a Clippers fan. I hail from Santa Monica, California. I've always felt a strong tie to Los Angeles. And as I grew up in LA, I spent many nights just hanging out at the rec center, watching my dad play basketball with all his friends. I love watching them play. Until this day, I love walking into a basketball gym because the smell of the musk, that sounds gross, but I love that smell. Basketball was one of the ways me and my father bonded over the years. And I got older, and I created a bridge with him through talking sports, specifically basketball. We would go to games together all the time, and it was really the reason I love basketball so much. It is probably the reason I'm willing to spend a good chunk of money on shoes that my favorite players wear. Just to throw it out there, my three favorite players are DeAndre Jordan, Patrick Beverley, and Kawhi Leonard. And I know Kawhi Leonard, that's a bandwagon because he just came to LA, but I love his style of play, and I love his will to succeed, and the fact that he grew up in Los Angeles and he came home. Growing up watching my dad play basketball made me part of the basketball community. I was born into it. My close ties to the sport is what literally put me in the shoe community in the first place, and the players are what kept me coming back for more. Within the basketball shoes themselves, have contributed to a new community that invites young and old people to physically participate in one of the greatest sports on earth.